So welcome everybody to the Learning Technologies Summer Forum, and welcome to Instilled, the world's newest learning experience platform. So I'm Hugh Edwards, and I'm going to be taking you through Instilled today, show you exactly what it's about, how it works. And please do come and visit us on stand 25 just at the back there afterwards, and we'd be very happy to give you an in-depth discussion and answer any questions. So let's just have a quick look at the background about where Instilled has come from. So we're part of the Learning Technologies group of companies. So you'll see our colleagues here from companies like PeopleFluent and Leo. But what we've done here is to look at the combined skills and technologies that we have within LTG and to bring those together, most particularly from within Gomo, Rustici with their fantastic SCORM and XAPI technology, and Watershed with their great learning analytics. And we've pulled this together into Instilled, which is an easy-to-use corporate learning platform which is designed for a modern learning culture. So we're going to have a look at exactly what we mean by that. So even though Instilled is brand new, we already have some great customers on board. In fact, here, Shell are our Halo customer. A lot of the vision and the features built into Instilled have been driven by Shell's input, so we're very grateful for them for that. And some other great clients coming on board already. So what do we do and why Instilled? The first thing is really making the most of your learners' time, just trying to make sure that they get the actual content they need as efficiently and quickly as possible. And also that we want to be able to capture all the knowledge that you have in your organization, that we want to be able to let your subject matter experts be able to create their own content and distribute and to be able to search for that content as quickly and easily as possible, all within a very, very friendly user interface. The other thing here is we don't want to be the bad guy. I think that learning management systems have got a really bad reputation, that they're difficult to use, it's difficult to find the content you want. We all have to go into them at least once a year to do compliance training. We dive in to do the anti-bribery training, get through it clicking next as quickly as possible, get out of it again and don't go back to it for the remaining year. So what we want to do is to create a very consumer-style interface that's going to draw people in, means that they can find the actual learning and knowledge that they want as quickly as possible. So Instilled is built on 3 pillars, which roughly correspond to the 3 main parts here from Learning Technologies Group. So we have Gomo Learning. I'm sure many of you are familiar with our Gomo authoring tool. And the key thing here is that everything in Instilled is 100% cloud-based, so you don't have to install any software. You can work as a team collaboratively through the cloud. Everything is completely responsive, so whether you're creating content or consuming content, you can do that on any screen, any device, any orientation. And within that, we have not only e-learning creation capabilities through Gomo authoring, but we also have video content creation that your subject matter experts can just jump in there, create a video, which is going to be auto-captioned and also, if you want, auto-translated as well. Also, in terms of the delivery here, that, as we'll see in a moment, that Instilled has a very friendly YouTube, Netflix-style interface. So no matter whether you're creating or consuming the content, it's really easy to use. It's all based on great enterprise-level security. It's a whole enterprise video streaming platform as well. And we also wanted to make sure that the content is as easy as possible to discover. So we even have searching down to the spoken word. So your learners can be taken to the exact point in a video where the thing they're interested in is being talked about. And also that you can mix and match with Instilled. If you already have an existing LMS, that's fine. You can take the bits that you want from Instilled and work with that within your LMS, or even, as many customers are choosing, just use Instilled as their actual learning portal. The other thing is the analytics. So we have built in the great stuff that you have in Watershed, and we've built that directly into Instilled itself. And as you see, you have these great dashboards to be able to get a real insight into the learning, because we're using XAPI everywhere. So everything that your learners are doing is then being analyzed. You can get down to see exactly how your learning is being used. And we also have social features built in that your users can comment and ask questions directly within Instilled. And your subject matter experts can get notifications that somebody's asked a question at a particular point in a video, and they can go straight to that, answer that. The person who's asked it will get a notification, and it builds up these content heat maps. So everybody else benefits from that knowledge that's being built up around the video learning. So, enough of me talking about the background. Let's go in and have a look at Instilled itself. So let's go in here. So in Instilled, that we support single sign-on. So your learners can come through your corporate HR system, which means that Instilled will already know about not only who they are, but also their job role, their department, and so on. So when they come into this, they can be directed to content that's immediately relevant to them. They can see trending videos that are relevant to them. They can see the e-learning content. They can choose to create favorites lists, and you can build up maps of which are the most favorite learning items in there. And if we go down into here, we'll see that with Instilled, you can see that we have this very nice, friendly, consumer-style interface. It's all based around this idea of learning containers, so containers of knowledge. So I can go down into one of these, and let's just have a look at some of the features that we have here. So you can see there over on the left that I can just choose to play all the learning in this container. Now, this learning can be both video content, but it can also be e-learning packages, and not just created in Gomo authoring, but because we've got Rustici Engine built right in, you can use content created in any other standards compliant authoring tool. But let's go in and have a look at some of the features that we have around video here. So in addition to having the video itself, we also have chapters. So you can build up chapters to your video so your learners can jump straight to the part that they're really interested in. We also have automatic captioning as well in here, where we can switch between languages, English, French, and we have up to 140 languages in there. Also here, we can actually comment. So we can put comments, ask questions, and as it runs through the video, it will then highlight the comment or the question that's been made at that part of the video. And all of this is just the standard part here of Instilled. So let's go and have a look at how we actually put in our own content, because what we've tried to do is make sure that we're enabling subject matter experts to be able to add in their own content easily. So I'm just going to go back here to the top level. And again, we don't make any distinction between the sort of the administration system and the end user system. It's all to do with the levels of permission that you choose to give people. So for example, you might choose to give people just permissions to add comments to certain content. But in other containers, you can say, actually, you can upload your own video and your own content in there. So really empowering people. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to create a new container. So I have permissions here to create a container. So let's just call this LTSF. And save that. So that now gives me a container where I can start to build up the learning content. So first of all, let's go and upload an existing video. Again, we support loads of different video formats. I'm just going to upload an interview we did with Elliot Maisy. I'm sure many of you are familiar with him. And we'll just start to upload that. And what it's going to do, it's going to do lots of processing behind the scenes. It's going to be creating this video in lots of different bit rates so that whatever device, whatever connection speed your learners are accessing it on, they're going to get a good experience. But again, your subject matter experts don't have to be video experts as well to use this. Okay, so that's just going to take a few moments to process. So what I'm going to do while that's processing, I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to record my own video. So I'm going to say, let's go and record a video. And here I am. So I can not only do direct video capture like this, but also, if I want to, I can do screen capture. So if I want to do some quick systems training, I just switch to the screen capture here and then just record that, and again, you'll get the same auto-captioning and auto-translation. So let's see how this is going to work in this noisy environment. So I'll just say start recording. Welcome to the Learning Technologies Summer Forum here in London's Docklands. Okay, so I could preview it. Here I'm going to submit that. And again, it's going to do the same thing of creating the video in all the different bit rates there. So again, while it's processing there, let's just go back. So we now have here my Elliot Maisy video that's been uploaded. So now I can just go into the content editor. Again, very simple interface. We have nice, simple trimming tools here that I could use. And I can go in and say, start creating some chapters in here. So again, I can just move through the video. And might find at one point that Elliot has been talking, say, about robotics. So I can create, if I can spell, so say robotics. I can create a chapter there about robotics. I might also find here that he's talking about new technology. So I'm just building up my chapters here. And again, as we've seen in that earlier example, then your learners can jump straight to there. What I can also do here is to go to captions. So here, it's automatically generated these captions for me. So I haven't had to sit there listening to it, typing it all out. We've got all the perfect timings to synchronize in with that. If I want to, because it's, it's machine learning essentially, it might not get every word. So I can just go in and make simple edits and then just save that. But it's saving you a huge amount of time and cost here. But also I might say that, I'll just discard that. Let's just go back. Because now what I want to do is say, that's great, but I want to be able to translate the captions as well. So let's just move back here. And we'll just hop back. And we'll come out of the editor. Let's go back into my container. Okay, so I'm building up the content in my learning container here. Let's go into this. And I'm now going to just go in and manage this video. And I'm going to go to captions. Okay, so I've already got English captions. Now I want to translate that. So just choose translate. And we've got up to, I think, over 100 languages in here. So suggest a language that you'd like this translated into. Any suggestions? So, Spanish. Okay, let's go for Spanish. There we go. So I submit that. And let's add in another one here. So let's go to translate. Another language, Arabic. Okay, so let's go in here. And we've got Arabic in there. Okay, so this is just processing. It will just take a few moments. Let's just do a refresh. And notice that all of this is entirely cloud-based. I haven't had to install any video editing software or video capture software. So let's just check we've now got our captions. Here we go. So we've got English, Arabic, and Spanish. So now let's just go back in. And we can now go and play that. So back to my container. And let's play this. So we've got our English captions automatically in here. And now I can just choose to switch to Spanish. And so switch to Arabic. So this is a huge, huge saving, both in terms of cost and time, just to be able to upload or record your own video and then automatically caption and translate it. So now let's just go back and see how we're doing here with the video I recorded. So again, we can do the same. I can just go to the content editor. Here we go. I could do some basic editing here. Let's go and have a look at the captions here. Okay, so here you can see that in this noisy environment, it struggled a bit there. But again, I can just go straight in there and just tidy up the actual captioning. So we've uploaded a video, we've recorded a video live, we've auto-captioned, we've auto-translated, but also we can add in e-learning content as well. So what I'm going to do here is we'll just go back to our container. And let's go into here. And I'm going to upload a piece of e-learning. So all I do, again, just as I would with uploading a video, this time I select Upload e-learning. And I'm just going to go and find here. So I'm just going to take a standard SCORM package. And again, just to emphasize here, although of course Gomo authoring is the best way and easiest way to create SCORM packages, you can, because we realize other authoring tools are also available, you can just use anything that supports SCORM AICC standards there. So I'm just going to upload that one. I can also choose to just give it a little thumbnail as well. We'll just save that. Okay, so now, if I go back to my container, I now have 3 elements here. I can choose to change the sequence of those. So for example, I might say, actually, I want my introduction to come before that. It's fine, let's go back here. Let's refresh. Again, all within this very friendly user interface. So there's my sequencing. So I can play them one after the other, or if I just want to dive straight into the e-learning here, again here I could be adding in comments and questions as well, all with directly in here. So here we have some nice Gomo content in here, all within the same friendly interface. But the other thing we can do, the important thing, is to do with discoverability. You want your learners to be able to get to the content that they need as quickly as possible. So what I can do, if I just go back, say, to the top level, so I might say, well, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to find this particular thing I'm interested in, but for example, I'm interested in robotics. So I can go in and search on robotics. And what it's doing, it's going through all of the material here, and it's discovered that actually there's a reference to robotics in that Elliot Maisy video. So I can either view the whole video, or I can jump, there's this natural chapter heading in that video, but really powerfully, it's found that in the audio transcript as well. So I can choose now to go straight into that particular part. So here you see it's taken me straight to Elliot talking about robotics. I haven't had to search through course catalogs or looking for keywords. It just takes your learners straight there. And the next component here is the analytics. As I mentioned, it's XAPI everywhere. It's tracking everything that we do. And we're presenting analytics in exactly the same friendly way. So if I go to view analytics here, what we have built directly into Instilled are Watershed dashboards here. So the same kind of power of Watershed, the friendliness of Watershed, but built directly into Instilled as part of the product. So here we can see overviews of logins, have nice friendly graphs, which I can choose to just zoom into. But then also, we can be having a look at user activity. In effect, looking at leaderboards here. So here we can see that Mike is the top of the leaderboard. I'm moving up a bit here. We can also, you can see exactly what's been going on. So not just that this person watched this video, but also, did they skip through the video? Did they pause? Did all your users look at this video but give up after 30 seconds? In which case you can feed that back into your learning design. And all of that is available directly in Instilled here. So it gives you the power to be able to create content, both e-learning content through the Gomo authoring tool, or video content, either uploading video or recording video or screen capture directly. It gives you auto captioning. It gives you auto translation. It gives you this searchability, this discoverability built right in, so you can get the learners to the point that they need immediately. And it has this fantastic Watershed analytics built right in here, combined with the power of SSO to be able to integrate with your systems. But also, with any of this, it can work really well with your existing learning management systems. Many of our customers now, because of the friendliness of the interface, choose to send people directly into Instilled. But you can take components of this and actually use that directly within your LMS. Let's just have a look at how that works. We'll go back to our container here. And again, you can choose what level of information you want to be able to take into your LMS. So I could just take an individual video with all of the captioning, and if I want to, the chapters as well, or I can take a complete container of learning here. I can just choose LMS export, and then just choose the standard that I'm working to. It downloads a wrapper for you, upload it to your LMS, and then when the learner accesses that content, they'll be getting the full Instilled experience. So they'll have all of that captioning, they'll have the ability to ask questions, but essentially from within your LMS. You can also choose to deliver this. I could choose to share this container. I could actually say, I want to email out the whole container. I could choose to embed it, say just in a corporate intranet. So it just gives me an embed code here. Or I can just take a link and put that somewhere. So the message here is that really Instilled can work with whatever technologies that you have to bring you this whole power of this new corporate learning platform designed for the modern learning organization. So thank you very much for seeing this brief glimpse of Instilled. We'd be very happy to give you a more in-depth view on our stand just over there and to answer any questions that you have. Also, if you go to instilled.com, you'll find out loads more information and case studies about how it's being used. But thank you very much for your time this afternoon.